Matthew chapter 11, verse 28 and 29, Christ gives a universal call to all of mankind. He says, "Come unto me, all you that labor and are heavy laden, and I will give you rest for your souls." He says, "Learn of me. I am meek and I am lowly in heart. My burden is light and my yoke is easy." This is that call of Christ. This is an extension of that call of Jesus Christ, because we're living in a time today that's so stressful and people are burdened. And the reality of life today is that not many people care. Not many people care about what you're going through. Not many people care about what's going down in your life. And everybody seems to need some form of counseling or help, but there is an answer. There is an answer. And I want to talk about the burden that we have today as human beings. Besides the burden of looking for love and companionship, the burden of sustaining yourself, the burden of, if you're a family person, taking care of your family, loving your family, the burden of surviving in this world, the burden of surviving in a competitive and difficult world. There's also the greatest burden that we carry, and that is the burden of sin. A lot of people have this loneliness and longing and emptiness in their lives, and we think that we can find it in overindulging ourselves, if I can say, intoxicating ourselves in the things of this world, whether we're intoxicating ourselves with narcotics or whether it's with alcohol, whether it's intoxicating ourselves in food, entertainment, whatever our drug is that we've chosen, to try and numb ourselves to the emptiness, the deep-cut loneliness that we feel, the difficulty, the depression, the sadness that we feel. There is no answer. There is no answer in this world. There is no answer that you'll find in yourself. And I know that there's a lot of hogwash going out there saying that if you do some form of meditation and if you do this and go here, go on vacations more, travel more, find yourself, all that nonsense. But still, the reality is people are empty. And I know, because when you look on social media, people are looking for love, for recognition. People are looking for fulfillment. And the world has programmed us that you can find that fulfillment in fame, in money, in having things, in being accomplished. But there's people that have reached those levels and have not found that fulfillment. And I know it's cliche that we have a big God-shaped hole in our heart, but to an extent, that is true. Now Christ comes and he walks here on earth and he sees the need of man. He sees the greatest craving of man, and he gives this universal call. The second call of Christ, the first was for discipleship. Follow me and I'll make you fishers of men. That was the first call. But this call is more a heart call. This call is more a call for rest, for freedom. This call is more because he sees the need of man. This call is not to certain individuals that are willing to give it up all for Jesus Christ and be his representatives, his true disciples in the earth. This call is universal. This call is for you and for me. This call is for anybody. I want to ask you something. Is life taxing and burdensome? Are you depressed? Are you struggling? Christ is calling you now. Come unto me, all you that labor, the labor of life. You're tired from living this difficult and struggling and hustling life. Everything you do in this life takes effort, takes push, and some people are overwhelmed by it. He says, come to me and I'll give you rest. You'll find rest for your soul. You'll find rest for your soul. Come to Jesus Christ. He says, learn of me, I am meek and lowly in heart. And in that statement, he's telling us how we should come in humility. It's not a big fuss. There's no great demand from Jesus Christ. He says, I am meek and lowly in heart. I don't want much from you. I'm not going to ask you for much. I just want you to come and find rest in me. And then he says, I'll give you my burden because it's light, my yoke because it's easy. He'll free you from the difficulties of this world. It's not that he'll take you out of the world and out from the difficulties of the world, but he'll free you from the burden of the world. He'll give you the yoke and the burden of Jesus Christ, where you're not stressed about what's going down around you because you know Jesus got this and Jesus has got you covered. He has overcome the world. It's written in the Bible. He's overcome the world. He's overcome sin. He's overcome the devil. He's overcome temptation. But all we have to do is humble ourselves and come to him. It says in Peter that you cast your burdens because he cares for you. He cares for you. And that's what we need to do. So this is a call to Christ. This is a call to the burden, the hurting. This is the call to those that are struggling in this life. This is a call to those that are walking this difficult journey and are weary and labored and tired. Vacation's not going to do it for you. Taking antidepressants is not going to do it for you. Indulging yourself in alcohol or entertainment, binge watching or binge eating is not going to do it for you. Christ will. Christ will. We've been consumed by surviving in this world. Absolutely consumed. But Christ says, come to me and I will give you rest. Let's cut to the real here. You've been living, you've been around, you've experienced life, you've hung with your homies, your friends, whatever, you've done whatever you want to do, but you still have that emptiness. You still have that depression, that loneliness, that desperation. And I'm here to tell you, whether you accept it or not, Christ is the only way you'll find rest and peace, calm in your soul. Your soul is your inner man, the depths of you, the real you, where everything is troubled right now. There you'll find rest and peace. Not comfort for the day so you're numb to what you're going through and what you're feeling. Not oversleeping because you just want to forget about everything or overindulge. No, not those things. Rest for your soul, your inner man. That's what Christ will do for you. And whether the world wants to accept it or embrace it or not, whether the YouTube world wants to accept it or embrace it or not, Jesus Christ is the only place you'll find rest for your soul. I'm not asking you, give Jesus a try. I'm not saying all those things. I'm saying if you're wise, if you're humble, come to Christ. And all you have to do, because I know you might be thinking, but how do I get to that place where I'm having rest in my soul? All you have to do is come and say, I've come. I've come, Lord Jesus. I've come to you looking for rest for my soul. And embrace whatever Christ has for you from there going forward, and you'll have rest. But the call to come for rest is not the only call. He doesn't give you rest and send you away. He does not do that. He then says, abide. And we're going to deal with that in the next teaching later on. God bless you, and I'll see you in the next one. And please remember, as disciples of Jesus Christ, true disciples of Jesus Christ, we learn, we practice, we teach, because that's the only way to do it. God bless you.